Challenge accepted. Okay, let's zoom in, say hello, and start off with a move. There we go. Okay. I'll leave the bishop's diagonal open, see what he does. Okay, looks like he's been studying some Joseki. I will push here again. Okay, so I can push, he takes, I take. Then after he exchanges, he can drop the bishop here or here. It's a little bit of a problem. And let's just prevent the exchange. I don't know if it's a big problem, but dropping it here would be annoying, hitting this pawn. So I think I'm going for a Yagura. How do I want to do this? A fast Yagura? Bring the king across. Brought the bishop up, oh, the silver up. Well, the silver stops this pawn. I guess that's a good thing. Let's see, okay, pushes the lance pawn. I will push likewise. And he shifted to a different location. So, yeah, if I lift this pawn up, it might be a problem. I'm just going to make room for my king and put it over here. Yeah, I don't know what he wants to do with his bishop. He wants to put it out here. It's looking at squares that are covered. Yeah, welcome to the stream. This is my first game. So he pushed the pawn. So I can drop a pawn here immediately, and he has to go back and then gains the tempo, I guess. Okay, so we start walking with the king. The bishop went back, so he decided it wasn't much use there. Yeah, I went for a kind of Yagura-like formation, but I put the I was thinking of going for a Yagura, but I put the bishop here instead. Actually, the silver goes here, but I got my king to the square very efficiently. Okay. We're going to step back with the bishop. It's looking at this cell here. When I push the pawn, I could have could have pushed this pawn when he moved his silver out. I wasn't thinking. Okay, we got a typical Yagura. Let's open up. Does he really want a bishop trade? It's interesting. He hasn't touched the rook or the pawn in front of it. So my king has it's pretty safe. Okay, he starts to run with his king. Let's bring the silver up. Okay, oh, he brought his rook over to this file. Okay, let's step up with the silver. So he can't, I'm already stopping him at this point with my bishop. His bishop can't get on this diagonal easily, so I think I can just step up with my silver. He can push ahead here. So he went for a ranging rook type of opening at the end. And he stepped back with the rook. Okay, we'll play here. Huh. What is that? I take here. He takes with the gold. I put my rook here. What's he going to do? He can drop a pawn. I can take it. He could protect the gold with another gold. Then I could drop a pawn. He steps back. Okay, I can drop a gold. I can drop a pawn here now. And he has to go sideways. And I could step here with my silver. Hello, Gabber House. Doing good. This is my first game, and I'm playing someone who's fairly due, it looks like. Ah, he stepped forward diagonally. It's interesting. Okay, I'm going to challenge that gold. He takes, I take. He runs. Okay, well then we'll push in here. Okay, so I have a pawn in hand. I have a silver that could step here, but the pawn here kills the bishop, right? There. He can go there. The bishop can go there. Let's see, if I put a pawn here, if I push this pawn and he takes, then I drop a pawn here. I push the pawn, he takes. I drop a pawn. His bishop is more or less trapped. He takes my silver, exposing my rook. I trade rooks and then drop a rook here with check. I think it works out in my favor in any case. And does he seem to play well? Oh, okay, well, we'll see. Thought he was playing kind of beginnerishly, but oh, because the two golds defend. Yeah, so he took with the other gold so he could defend that. I still can do the drop. Okay, I can come back here, take this pawn and promote, and I have a gold in hand. I think this should be good for me. Where's my bishop check? I have a bishop check here, but his gold is defending that. Oh, it's not a check. It's an attack on his rook. Okay, so go here and promote. And so he's got a silver drop and a pawn drop. And I have a gold. I have a gold and a pawn. We went there. Okay, that's pretty clever. So here again, this one doesn't trap the bishop. This one does not trap the bishop. Yeah, maybe you're right about him playing well. Let's see. My bishop is protected, so if he moves his bishop here, I can. He went there. Okay, yeah, he had to promote so he can attack my lance. So I attack his. Gold. What does he do? He takes my lance. Okay, I will take his gold. So what is protecting this? Nothing. A little more consistent than the average beginner. So he did okay. Yeah, he's maybe better than his 10Q, but I still think he's made some mistakes here. Okay, let's see. I'll go here. He takes my knight. I'll take his knight. Ah, then he does the bishop. Oh, and that defends his. That defends the knight. That does defend the knight. I should probably take the bishop. Because it'll be good to have a check against his king. And I can take here and promote. No, I can't. Okay, good thing I did do that. I can drop the check here. Gotta do something about the check. Yeah, he almost took here automatically. Okay, so I was thinking of taking this, but it's still protected. So let's do this. Attack the rook. Yeah, so it sort of seemed in the opening he didn't have an idea what to do. And yeah, this is a beginner mistake too, not knowing what's protected, unless once again there's some trick I'm not seeing. So now we should be thinking about mates. I can drop a silver here. I can drop a rook here. When I drop the rook here, it blocks the bishop's view of the of the silver. So I wanted to drop the silver first and then drop the rook. If he drops something here, I think I can drop something here. Maybe not. He's got it protected with the silver, doesn't he? Oh, he went back with the silver. So it's not protecting anymore. So yeah, so I drop gold here. He takes. I take here. Can't take with the king. And I'm threatening to take here with mate. Okay, so he dropped a gold, defending the king. I take here with check. The gold takes. And I drop the silver here. The king runs. And that's a mate. Whatever he drops there, I can just take. All right, thanks for the game. That was good. Ooh, thank you. Yeah, always nice to start off with a good game. I was looking at this game I played last week. It was the very first game of last week. I wonder. I bet I could find that if I looked for it. First, let's exit here. Give him a good manner. Let's go to full screen mode. And no, it wasn't that screen. Let's see. It was this screen, right? Yeah, this one. So I go here. And look at my recent games. It was Mr. Lee. Yeah, it was this game. Let's look at the Kifu. And I lost this game. Here, let's flip the board. I was Gote here. So I flipped the board, so I'm on top. He did a bishop exchange. Anyway, it was kind of back and forth, I think, as we went through the game. But there was this one point where I had a mate. And of course, it was a complicated mate. I want to see if I can remember it. That's why I'm doing this. He's, tearing me up over here. But he was a little slow in attacking. Here. Yeah, so I have a bishop here. Here, let's look at this. The bishop is controlling all of these squares. And then all of these squares are controlled too. The gold, so the king has no moves. So there actually is a mate, but it wasn't that simple. Let me see if I can remember it. I think you drop a silver here first. He has to take. So that part is forced. Then you drop a silver here. And the king can't run here, it has to run here. And the order is very important. You have to drop both silvers first, and then you can take here. And because you remembered to drop this silver ahead of time, now you can drop a gold here. King has to run back. And now you can drop a silver here. And I just tried to drop a silver here too soon, and it got exchanged out because he had a gold here. But with that move order, you drop the silver here first. He takes with the gold. You drop the silver here to make sure it's waiting, and so that everything happens with check. And the king steps up. Then you take the gold. He takes back. And then you have a gold in hand, and you can drop the gold, force him back to this square where he was, several moves ago. And you've just like repeated the position, except that his gold is over here in his hand instead of on the board. And there's only one piece that protects here. So then you can come in and mate like this. So pretty cool mating sequence. And I could have won that game. Of course, I didn't have enough time to see that. And I dropped the silver here on this side first, which actually there is still a mating sequence from here, but it's longer and more complicated. It involves trading off that gold or that rook. And then I dropped a gold, silver there. And then dropping a silver here doesn't work because of this, this rook. Sorry about that. That's pretty garish. Can we do this again? Yeah, it's protecting this isle here. So what I played was I dropped the silver here, but now the count is against me. He's got both a knight and a gold defending that square. And at the end of the day, I just don't have enough force. And I can give some checks, but then I get mated. Silver star 4-1 might still work. Yep. Yeah. Anyway, pretty interesting, I thought.